Why do you think it's important to have a positive attitude? That's what this podcast is about. Why does that matter?
It's the most important thing you can do. It's so easy to be negative. I always say, one of my favorite quotes is, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. Do you know who said that originally?
That's Ford, Henry Ford, yep.
But what did he ever do?
Yeah.
The positive of I can is just like having a positive attitude. I can't would be just like having a negative attitude.
Yep.
If you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. I can't have a positive attitude. Well, you're right. You first have to convince yourself. When I was saying earlier that you can change your state in an instant, I learned this from Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it. As he's saying it, I go, I totally get it. Now you've given me the way to put it into words.
Yes.
The first thing you have to change is your physiology. Oh, God, life is so bad, as opposed to rolling your shoulders back. Like there's certain things like I've read how people say laugh out loud. And it's really tough to stay mad. You got to work at being mad if you're laughing or thinking of something funny that's happened.
Yeah.
So if you change your physiology, you change what you focus on, and the story you tell yourself, before you know it, you could be in a whole different place.
Yeah.
And my wife, one day she was really upset about something, and I just pin her, but on both sides I put a wall up. She couldn't get around it. I go, you can change this. I go, get your head out of there. I can't remember what the situation was because you never do remember.
Of course.
When you're mad as all get out, you never remember why.
It's not the situation. It's
It's what's happening in your brain. And I said, you can change your state in an instant. She goes, that's crazy, babe. Nobody can do that. No, that's just crazy talk. I go, really? I go, so if the publisher clearinghouse guy comes to the door right now and you open the door and they tell you just won $250,000, you're not gonna be like, oh my God, I want to, oh my God. You're gonna be the happiest person in the world. But wait a minute, you're so mad. Are you gonna be so mad? Oh, I don't want that. I'm so mad. Like, no, you can shift like that.
Yep.
So you also can shift from really happy to really mad.
Yes.
Yes. One of the things they taught us, Howard Fiennes, Howard Fiennes, my acting coach in LA, and one of the things that he teaches is it's called the phone call, but it's change of self. And what he does is he takes real life situations and has you do it up on stage. So say you're on the phone and one of them is being on the phone, because that's where you have the biggest change of state. That's where you have the biggest change of self, but you're not even aware of it. And you could be talking to somebody and it could be one of those people trying to call up and you're trying, to sell you something, but you don't want to be rude because they've told you that they're doing this for the police benevolent association. They're not telling you the police get $3 of the 100 that you give, and you're trying to be nice, and you're like, oh God, like you don't want to be on that phone, and someone calls and you go, hey, hold on 1 second, you click it over, and it's the girl or the guy that you've been wanting to talk to. Oh my God, Barry, oh, hey, hold on a second. Hey dude, I gotta get off the phone. Oh Barry, how you doing? You just went from boom to boom. It's like, it's that easy. It's just, you gotta train your brain to do it. It's like reading. Reading was so hard for me. Not so hard now. I still take my time reading, but it isn't one word at a time. And I still have to focus, like way more than the average bear. But I had to reprogram my brain to believe, first of all, I could do it. So I'll read out loud all the time. And that was scary as hell. Like, talk about, I was speaking in front of 20,000 people sometimes. I inducted Jake in the Hall of Fame, there was 22,000 people there. Going to go out and speak for 12 minutes, 13 minutes, or in some cases for me, I walk out in front of 5,000 people and speak for an hour. Reading was way more scary. Out loud, reading out loud was way scarier than that for me. So now, not so much. If I screw up, I'm thinking, wow, most people read about this speed.
Yeah.
So I just want to be able to not rely on anyone else but myself. Then I know that if it's on me and I put the work in, I'm going to get out of it what I put into it. So that's why having a positive attitude through this entire journey is essential.
That's amazing. And it's obvious that you work at it. You
Yeah.
work at this all the time.
You do. You live it. And like Scott Hall used to say, Dally, how do you stay so positive? I work at it. Like our DDP Yoga Now app. Have you been all through that? Have you checked that?
Yep, I got it.
It's not just the workouts. It's not just the custom workouts that you can do and you still track, whether it's hiking or running or whatever you're doing, playing basketball, whatever, you can still track all of that into our DDPY for kids, our DDPY beginner where you use a chair. I mean, there's a workout in there for everyone, from the beginner to the extreme psycho workouts.
Yes.
So all of that, plus you get to track it, plus all the food, and I'm not telling you healthier choices. I'm giving you the healthiest thing that you can eat. If you're going to eat pasta and, let's see, if you're going to eat a pesto pasta, I'm going to show you how to make the pesto. Tastes better than any pesto you have ever tasted. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be organic. If they can afford it, they get the organic. It's pennies more. And I'm going to turn you on to a brown rice flour pasta that tastes better than the wheat. So it's actually going to be healthy for you, but it's going to taste great. So the workouts, the food, I always say both of those are 10% of the equation. The 90% is right here, what you're trying to work with people and help people with and get them to understand. Their positive attitude is essential for anything and everything. And that's one of the things in the app. In DDP Yoga Now, we have inspirational sections where we show you these amazing videos, where we'll be bringing in different talks, and inspiring things you can find on the internet. We just make it one spot where you can just watch that. And I watch inspirational stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Because it really just feeds your soul, man, and it makes you, okay, I can do this. The whole thing with, I think if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. Roger Bannister, it's like people have to prove that anyone can do this. Not anyone, but it can be done. Roger Bannister was the first guy to break the 4-minute mile in 1954. Prior to that, there was journals written on, like by physicians and stuff, that the man will never break the 4-minute mile. His heart could explode. It was all these reasons why it just couldn't be done. Impossible. And then in 1954, he broke it. And then his number one guy, who was his biggest guy that challenged with him, he broke it. And then they had the race of the century. Since then, over 20 people have broken the 4-minute mile that I know of. And I'm talking about broke the record. So they not only broke the 4-minute mile, so I don't know how many people broke the 4-minute mile. Might be hundreds by this time.
But 20 have held the record.
But have gone through and then broke that
faster.
record. And then broke that record. And the last time it was broke that's on the internet is 1999. And it was like 3 minutes, 43 seconds, which is insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. But that's the kind of thing that shows you could do this. And when I knew that I was the first guy that was taking this whole form of yoga, which would become DDP yoga, and I would do it. And then I started to see other guys that were like me following me to do it because their bodies were beat up. Again, never was about weight loss, just an awesome side effect.